Welcome to this video tutorial on how to get started with Scaffold-ETH2 using Replit and Cursor. Scaffold-ETH2 is a cool dev tool for rapidly developing, deploying, and testing on-chain applications on any EVM network. In this video, I'll guide you through the initial setup on Replit, then taking it to Cursor to show you how to add custom RPC endpoints by using natural language. In our case, we'll be using public RPCs powered by Pocket Network and hosted by Nodies. I'll be using Replit and Cursor as my IDs instead of Visual Studio Code to illustrate the productivity boost from leveraging AI assistance in a developer environment. Before you begin, you need to make sure you have Node, Yarn, and Git already installed. Let's dive on in. We have two options. Use git close to clone the repo, or in beta, use the npx command. Npx create-eth at latest to bootstrap the project directly. We're going with option 2. Bootstrap the project with the command in a blank rep. Npx create-eth at latest. It will trigger Replit to recommend installing node tools. Type Y, then press Enter. Once more, copy and paste the npx command to install the packages. You'll be presented with a series of prompts. Project name, input your project name. Let's go with SE2. Solidity framework. Which Solidity framework do we want to use? Hardhat or Foundry? Let's choose Hardhat. Install packages, type in Y, then press Enter. Now that our installation is complete, let's configure the development environment on Replit for Scaffold-ETH2. A heads up, we'll need multiple terminal windows, so open up additional bash terminals on Replit. Step 1. Initialize a local blockchain. In the first terminal, run a local network with the command yarn-chain. This command starts a local Ethereum network using Hardhat. The network runs on your local machine and can be used for testing and development. You can customize the network configuration in the hardhat.config.ts file, which we will definitely do after we finish setting up the environment. Step 2. In the second terminal, deploy the test contract with the command yarn deploy. This command deploys a test smart contract to the local network. The contract can be modified to suit your needs and found in packages/hardhat/contracts file. You can also try copying and pasting stuff from Solidity by example. The yarn deploy command uses a deploy script to deploy the contract to the network. Step 3. In the third terminal, start your Next.js app with the command yarn start. Usually you'll visit your web application on https://localhost:3000. On Replit, open up the web view. It's currently listening on ports 854580. Manually switch it to 3000. You can interact with your smart contract using the contract component or the example UI in the front end. Step 4. Now we can SSH into Cursor. You'll find the option under the Tools section on the bottom left-hand side of the screen. If you have already set it up, it's one click to launch Cursor. There are several videos out there that will show you how to set up SSH with Cursor, but if you want me to make one with my tips and tricks, let me know in the comments or replies. I'm just going to navigate to the Hardhat config file since we'll be operating out of here in the next step. Before moving forward, toggle on the side chat panel. I've already added the docs containing the public RPC endpoints from bodies, so I'll quickly show you how to add documentation to Cursor for additional context of the Scaffold-ETH2 developer stack. In the chat, type at add, then paste the link to the docs in the text box. For example, I added VIEM, which is a TypeScript interface for Ethereum. You can also add docs via Cursor settings under the Features section. Let's add RainbowKit docs to demonstrate. Step 5. Onwards to customize the network configuration by changing the Alchemy URL endpoints to instead leveraging public RPCs powered by Pocket Network and hosted by Nodies. Side note, the public RPCs use the gateway server under the hood. Since I already added docs to Cursor, so it has context of not only my local codebase, but also relevant documentation. Instead of manually changing the RPC URLs myself, I am having Cursor do all the heavy lifting. The chat is aware of the hardhat config file that contains the network URLs, but if it wasn't for you, then you can use the AT symbol to reference the name of the file. I then ask Cursor in chat to swap out the endpoints for POKT's public RPCs, referencing Nodies docs and pulling from it. This is done by mentioning the documentation with an @ symbol, in my case at Nodies public endpoints. All we have to do is click apply in chat. It edits the section automatically. You can see the difference in highlighted green and red. You can see that it updated the RPC endpoints for Ethereum, Arbitrum, Optimism Sepolia, Polygon, and Gnosis to use Nodies endpoints. Added new networks available through Nodies like Avalanche, Phantom, Fuse, Metis, and Kava. Left other networks unchanged where Nodies doesn't provide an endpoint. We just have to accept the changes. You can either do it one by one, but let's click Apply All instead. This can be done even more hands-off if I had changed something in my settings ahead of time, but I don't prefer to automatically accept changes. Step 6. Hop over to the Scaffold config file. I personally like to keep the burner wallet on, so let's change that from true to false. This makes the burner wallet available on networks outside of local hardhat. To change the network, simply edit chains.hardhat to whatever network you'd like to use in targetNetworks. For example, to show that POK public RPC works, we'll use chains.optimism.sepolia. To demonstrate the AI code editor even more, we'll start typing Optimism, then press Tab to autocomplete to Optimism Sepolia. As you can see, we are now on Optimism Sepolia by looking at the web view in Replit. And that's it. You've successfully set up Scaffold-ETH2 on Replit, then hopped on over to Cursor to take advantage of its advanced AI capabilities, as well as learned how to configure networks using natural language and the context of relevant documentation. Scaffold-ETH2, Replit, and Cursor are powerful tools that simplify the development process, allowing you to focus on building on-chain applications. Play around and find out. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more tutorials. Thanks for watching.